Ryor, camera A, take one.
I am Dr. Chuck Ryor. My wife Carolyn and I have been married for 27 years, and we have 2 kids. We met on a blind date in the Washington, D.C. area when we were both just out of college. I was working as a disc jockey at a radio station, and she was working as a school teacher. When Carolyn and I started dating, we began to fall in love, and one time after spending a weekend with a bunch of friends and family, we were saying goodbye to each other, and it seemed like the moment where we were going to have our first kiss, and I stopped her and I said, I've screwed up every relationship I'd ever been involved with, so I'd like it if the first time we kissed would be the night we got engaged. It would really help a brother out if you'd be okay with this, because I really don't want to mess this one up. And God has blessed that in many ways since. Not only did we get married, but we started having kids after I got through seminary, which was our son Nick and our daughter Holly. They're 17 months apart, and they're just terrific. I grew up in a Roman Catholic family and was a bit of a rebel as a kid. So when my parents told me I couldn't do something, I would tend to do the opposite. Somewhere around high school, I went to a Pentecostal church, and my parents told me they would prefer that I'd only went there once a week. And so that just meant I was going to go there as often as possible. And just for me, going off to college was an exploration. Other students go off to college and run away from their faith. And for me, it was an opportunity to really explore the Christian world. I was just excited about Jesus. I was learning exponentially because I was becoming familiar with Scripture in ways that I hadn't before. And the pastor at the time who was mentoring me said, I think God might be calling you into ministry. I liked that thought. I was overwhelmed, and I thought, I need to go to seminary and learn. I went to seminary at Reformed Theological Seminary in Orlando, Florida. And then I was free to pursue my call to do student ministry and then church planting out of that student ministry in Tallahassee. I planted a church for the PCA in Tallahassee in the center of town, a church called Centerpoint Church. And I planted that church and was at that church for a few years, and then I came to Southern California in 2008, and that was the year I started teaching at Providence. I'm an affiliate professor of communications at Providence Christian College. I derive real joy in life from being around young people at that critical stage in life where they're making big decisions about what they believe, what they think, what they're going to do. I've always been attracted to the college campus because the Lord made such a big difference in my life when I was on the college campus. So a couple years later is when we launched Prism Church, which is a Reformed non-denominational church here in the area. We knew that the Lord was calling us to do this. In this context, Southern California, I really felt like I wanted to have a church where we could find unity, even as we have great theological commonality and solidity about our theological foundations. My wife was always supportive of whatever I wanted to do, and I think in the end, she sees how she was uniquely gifted to encourage me in my role as a pastor, given my own brokenness and the issues of my own heart and why I would need help and encouragement from someone like her. God has graciously provided that we are 2 very different people, that when we come together and find unity together and mutually submit to each other, that He has been extraordinarily kind in guiding us and providing for us. And when we make decisions together, God's usually been right in the middle of that in such a profound way. God gives you somebody who you not only love and want, but somebody you need in more ways than you can imagine. And she's certainly been that for me.